Greetings, Dennis Daniels here. This is Visual Studio Code, and you can see I have written the instructions for GitHub Copilot, and I included some description of what the final output would look like. This is very important for prompting purposes, is to make sure you give examples of what you want and specify the types of functions that you're looking for as well. I did not specify to use the zip method, but here it is right here. So I took the same instructions and I took it to the codex playground. You can see I chose code-davninci and I set the temperature to 1 and maximum length probably way too large for this project, but you can see it didn't come even close to generating what I wanted. In fact, it's quite a bit of repetition in here that goes nowhere, and I get no code. But I took the same example. And popped it into chat openaichatgpt.com. Here's the instructions, and then it actually gave me the code, and then it suggested another bit of code to see if this one is better. So a quick scan of this looks like it works, but we'll go ahead and copy it and do what any good scientist would do, make sure it works. And I'm going to leave all of that as is. I need to rename it. We'll call this openai chatgpt out.py and enter to save it. There it goes. And Control A, Shift Enter to run it. And there was no output to the terminal, so I'm not expecting that. Let's take a look at the file name, which is citycountry.txt. Okay, city1. It didn't match what I had told it. Oh, it did. Yeah, it took city1 and so let's go ahead and rerun this as can I edit? Yes, I edit over here, and now I say City 1 New York is in USA. And I'll go ahead and save and submit and see if that fixes the problem here. Def main, countries USA, France. Okay, those are all good. And it died. You can see that this happens sometimes. It just doesn't write the whole batch of code, but we'll go ahead and try this one out. Control Shift S, new test dot py, Control V, and doesn't include the save, but we'll go ahead and you can also see because it wasn't written to a code block, it's not going to give it to me in the same way. And there's no, yes, okay, so it's going to print to the terminal here. So let's see if this works a little better. And Control A, Shift Enter. Name is not defined. You can see, interestingly, it didn't wrap it with the underscores. That's surprising. Let's try again. Control A, Shift Enter. Okay, and invalid syntax. Let's close that, and we're going to open a command prompt. ls dir and the new test pi. There it is. So pi new test. We have an indent. Right. Indentation error. Let's try this again, see if it works now. Nope, it doesn't like that. I think all of this needs to be indented. And that needs to be indented as well. So you can see that if you don't know what you're doing, and I don't say I do, but you can see if this isn't formatted properly, then you, the user, will have to figure out what in fact is right and wrong. Let's try again, see if it runs. It ran without error, but we didn't get a print. And now let's go back up here, arrow up, and run it. And we got no output. Let's just call it from here. There, okay, so City New York is in USA, City Paris is in France, blah, 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 which is exactly what we expected. All right, so definitely a mixed bag of results. ChatGPT kind of worked the first time, and then it didn't. Playground failed entirely, and straight up, I think the best one turned out to be the code that was written by GitHub Copilot, which is ironic because Copilot is built on Codex. All right, thanks for watching and happy computing.